reactions have continued to greet the conduct and outcomes of the 2023 general elections, 1 year after, with civil society organizations and other stakeholders calling for improved policies that are people-centric. Speaking at a post-election security management conference in Abuja, the executive director of CLEAN, Gad Peter, narrated how electoral processes are conducted in the country, which is usually greeted by violence, hate speech, and religious crisis.
Election is not supposed to be a moment where people are traveling or stocking food, or where people become enemies with their neighbors, secondary school mate, university mate, or colleagues in places of work. It should be a moment of celebration. It should be a moment of intellectual discourse, a moment where ideas are discussed and issues are discussed and not people. But in Nigeria, most often when we talk about election, people are interested in which part of the country are you from, what's your religion, how much money do you have. These are conversations that shouldn't be guiding our process, but unfortunately, that's the key issues that we have at the moment.
Instrumentalization of hate speech becomes a tool in mobilization support for either a politician or a political party. And what does it do? It contributes to sowing seed of disharmony, which could either be to an individual or to a group as a whole. So it divides us along religious line and the ethno-religious regional fault lines, which becomes a problem.
While acknowledging that challenges are important tools to achieving needed objectives, Kano State Commissioner of Police Mohammed Gumel emphasized that if politicians are properly managed prior to election, the Nigerian electoral process will have a positive facelift that will birth hope in members of the public.
The politicians, hardly you understand them well. When you meet with them as a chairman of the Election Security Consultative Committee, we do invite the politicians into a meeting before organizing any election, just to tell us that they are ready to work with the police and other security agencies in order to have a free, fair, and credible election.
And the monetization of the election on its own is a major challenge for Nigerians, where INEC, in the context of the Electoral Act, there are specific amounts of money that have been pegged, thresholds. But who is monitoring that? Both the delegates, the voters. These are all areas with which politicians have identified and begin to induce people to influence the process and outcome of elections.